Okay, it's just we were just between songs. I missed my window. Today we're in 17th century Dutch Republic. Not really, there's a Kruidvat just down the street, but our taste buds are going to do us some time traveling. Today we're going to go check out what a 17th century Dutch merchant would have eaten, and hopefully we can find it all. And we're going to take you along with us as we go to Delft, where we are right now, Leiden, Enkhuizen, and Amsterdam. So let's taste some history.
Staatsbakkerij.
And this is the, oh, there it is.
Oude wijven.
Oude wijven.
So you want to get a loaf.
Yeah.
The first thing we're going to have today, the first taste, is something they call Ontbijtkoek. It literally translates into breakfast cake, but it was a spice cake. It goes back centuries, and it was originally made in monasteries, but later in the 17th century it was made pretty much for the upper middle class and the rich. This was very expensive. We bought a loaf. We didn't come prepared with knives, so we're going to take chunks of this and just have a taste of it.
At that time, only the wealthy could afford a spice cake in the morning because of the spices that were used in it, such as cinnamon, nutmeg. So we got one that is from the Staatsbakkerij here in Delft. This one particular, their Oude wijven, is supposed to be based on a centuries-old recipe. So well water in Delft was not safe to drink. A lot of the well water wasn't safe to drink everywhere. So they would drink what they called a small beer, which was a beer at about 1 to 3%. We're trying to eat as authentic as possible today. So no water for us today. We got a beer. Now, we couldn't find at the local Albert Heijn a beer that was considered a small beer. So the closest we could get is 0.5%. So we have the Brewery Herbal, which is from Amsterdam, and this is their wit beer, 0.5% alcohol. That's as close as we can get. So we're going to enjoy this with a warm beer because they also didn't have refrigeration back then. So a warm beer and some Ontbijtkoek. And that should get us fueled up for the day. Wow, it smells amazing. It's a soft, very dense bread, and it smells and tastes a lot like gingerbread. So here we go. We're going to break off a piece to share here.
Oh, smell it from here. Oh, it smells amazing.
Oh, it smells so good. There you go. Do you want a butt, or should I take a butt? Moment of truth.
Moment of truth.
Okay.
I can smell it. I mean, even from here, the spices are just kind of wafting. It's great. Here we go. Very gingerbready.
Gingerbready. Yeah, well, they use ginger. They use cinnamon, mace, nutmeg.
But it's not nearly as strong.
They used to use pepper in it, too.
Really? I don't taste any pepper, but...
Because pepper was quite exotic.
I mean, you definitely taste the ginger. It's really delicious.
You gonna try it with the beer?
Oh, yeah. This is so good by itself. Not a bad combination, actually.
No?
No, it really isn't. I mean, I guess I prefer coffee, but, you know, for the sake of art. And then I got this sticky part here, too. It's really delicious.
Break it in half here.
What do you think?
I love it. This one is much more anise forward than some of the ones that we've used in our stews and in the past. I love Dutch troop, so I love anise. That's good. Okay, so now the beer. Nice white beer. Tastes more unfiltered like it would have been. I like the combination. You know, it's a wheat beer, so you have the grain taste, and the grain taste is like a rye. So I got wheat and rye here. We are here in Enkhoorn, which was one of the major chambers of the VOC, one of the major ports. It was as wealthy as Amsterdam at the time. This is where we're going to have a snack worthy of a 17th century merchant, because they would have come here to go to the weigh house to check on the imports that they were storing here. And those merchants would have grabbed a quick bite from a traditional smokehouse serving up gerookte haring. So we're going to try some of the gerookte haring today. Can we have it on? I keep doing that. Yeah, I'm going to get a haring though. I love haring. Oh, that's the good stuff.
Just want to see that.
Yeah, perfect. They would have gone to the harbor to see how their goods were being delivered. If the barrels were right, they'd check with the clerk to see if everything was in order. And they most likely just walked to the side of the side of the harbor to pick up some smoked haring for a snack. So that's what we're going to do.
This could be the first time. It looks and smells really good. So.
How beautiful that is.
Oh my God.
There's only a few.
Really tasty.
There's only a few authentic smokehouses left. They all have smokehouses, but they do the authentic, traditional way. So this is so delicious. And a little trick is you're not going to get rid of all the bones. There's a lot of baby bones on here, but you want to work your way from the outer edge towards the spine. There's the spine. So that'll get rid of the big bones, but you'll end up with like, little guys like that. The farther into the spine you go. But if you eat around the edges, it's pretty good. But they're edible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you roll it this way.
Yeah, you roll it towards you like that.
Bones tend to stay in.
Yeah. So really delicious stuff.
Yeah. Good stuff.
It's so fatty, so decadent, so rich. I love the flavor so much. I want a second one, but like one really fills you up. And here at Zuiderzee Museum, they're like $2.50 each. So big fatty haring. Delicious. I have a little guy on me. Oh, you like the smell of the fish? I would think he'd be with the flowers right now.
Hey, fella.
So today we're at Madame Marie in Leiden, which is a great coffee house in a 17th century home. This doesn't resemble necessarily the coffee houses of the 17th century, though, which would have been grand, large houses, lots of windows onto the street, and they would have been set up more like a gentleman's study than a cozy coffee cafe. Coffee itself didn't come to the Netherlands until 1661, and it was very expensive. So it wasn't yet available to the regular masses of people, just to the merchant class and the elites. Oh, wow. Slag. Dank u wel.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Beaker
Yeah, the beaker coffee.
with nice thick crust. It's almost caramelized. It's a beautiful thick soup. It's gorgeous.
Pretty amazing.
It's really delicious here. And of course we have our coffee. So I have my unadulterated coffee. 17th century style. They probably would have put sugar in it. They could afford the sugar, so they might have added some sugar to it as well. I'm not adding sugar to mine today. Playing in your slag.
Yes.
Because of how much business was conducted at the coffee houses, unlike Great Britain, where the king would shut down the coffee houses if there was any sort of dissent, since that's where people would gather, organize, and discuss politics, here they left them open so that trade wasn't interrupted. Where'd it go?
That was a treat.
Where did it go, Mark?
River, did you take my pipe?
We're at Hemelrijk in De Pijp. They serve traditional Dutch cuisine. Tonight we're going to have Hutspot, and I'm having the Stoofvlees, which over frites is much more Belgian. In the 17th century, they would have had a lot of spices in there, exotic spices, warming spices, and they would have served it in a crust that was reusable. So kind of like a pie, like a meat pie in England, but the crust would have been very, very thick, and they would reuse it over and over and over again. It was not for eating. So you would eat the stew out of it. Hutspot.
Hutspot? Hutspot.
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 And then we got the Stoofvlees met frites, which is southern. But
So yours is a stew.
this is the stew, which
Yeah.
would have been in the crust.
Yeah.
But it also comes with piccalilli and pickles, which were very popular then.
It's got bacon too. On
Bacon,
top.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you got the smoked sausage. It smells so incredible. I wish you guys could smell this. This is amazing.
I love
smelling.
Hutspot. So good.
So, is that the best Hutspot you've had, or what?
Yes, it is.
Yeah?
Hutspot hits the spot.
Oh. But since we don't, this is basically since we don't have the crust anymore to hold it, we've got the frites to hold it, which is kind of a bonus for modern Dutchies. So I can taste cinnamon. A lot of cinnamon in this stuff. I'm tasting a little bit of cloves.
I smell the cinnamon actually.
Yeah. So we're getting those exotic spices in the stew to this day. Lovely. All right, we're gonna eat. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
I don't know how these 17th century Dutch merchants did it, although they did have finished their dinner at home. It would be a light meal. And now I understand why they would have a light meal. They'd have a heavy lunch, a light supper at home so they could pass out. Ooh, that's a cool glass.
Thank you. Enjoy.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're sitting in the Cafe Barrera, which is directly across from the Hortus Botanicus, which is the oldest botanical garden in the Netherlands.
In the late 17th century, some of those merchants started introducing more exotic spices and botanicals, since they could, with the VOC, to their beers. So this one here that we're having is also going to be one that has the botanicals, the spices. It's going to be a flavor profile that would have been quite familiar to them. So, and it's a blonde, so it's not going to be heavy on the hops either. It's going to have about the right amount that they would have used as well. So here we go. Wow. Bergamot, cinnamon stick, lemongrass, and seasonal flowers. Along with yeast and hops, of course.
How's it taste?
It tastes really good.
Yeah?
I'm definitely getting the lemongrass.
Ah,
But yeah, it's and it's got a very floral note to it. So yeah, this would have been perhaps a beverage of the wealthy merchants in the late 17th century. You're
Hortus Blonde.
going to drink it out of the bottle? You're going to drink it out of the bottle?
I'm gonna pour it. It's funny how my first instinct was to drink it out of the bottle.
That's because you didn't want to wait a second.
Momentous occasion. Here you go.
Yep.
Tasty.
So what do you think of your beer?
Love it.
It's good shit.
Yeah.
This is a local Leiden brewery. It was actually cold when we sat out there, but we did it for the view, for you, to see the view.
For you.
You, the view. The view for you.
Alle mailtjes zitten erop worden.
Here you go.
There you go.
One of our favorite places.
Yep.
Drie Fleschjes. Always such atmosphere here. There we go.
Oh, dankjewel.
Okay, well,
So we're having the Ossenworst met the Oude Kaas. So the oxen was one of the major imports from Denmark and Germany. So that was the main fresh meat. And you'd have Ossenworst here in Amsterdam because it was raw, so it was fresh. That's a fresh pepper on it. Good.
Always amazing.
That's the best Ossenworst I've had. Fleschjes and the Kopstootje was invented in the 17th century. The beer and Jenever together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I did not know that.
They weren't encouraged to linger, so it wasn't like the tavern.
Right.
They would go. Yeah, it wasn't a brown cafe. There you go. We're home.
Long day.
Yes. It was a good day.
Good day.
It was a very good day. The hardest part of it, honestly, was not having any water.
Yeah.
That made me feel so sluggish.
Yeah, that caught up with both of us.
Yeah, so that really caught up to us. And the food was very, very rich.
Excellent. It was so good.
It was a really delicious.
Yeah.
Amazing flavor profiles, really amazing stuff. Calvinist, though. So even though it was rich and it was full of exotic spices, it was very Calvinistic. It was good, wholesome, no-nonsense food that we had today.
I was thirsty, but I'm like, no, we can't. We got to keep in the spirit of how they did things back then. And I don't.
If we had thirsty, we had beer. We tried to have the lower alcohol beers. It still caught up to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thirsty right now. I want to drink a jug.
Yeah.
But I will say, the sun is starting to set. It's 8 o'clock at night here. I feel like going to bed with the sun. And because of the amount of beer we drank, I can understand now why they had a second sleep where after 4 hours or so, they would wake up, get up for another hour or two, go back to sleep for another 4 hours. I understand that now because I'm sure my body will automatically do that because of all the beer.
I could easily take a 4-hour nap right now, easily.
Yeah.
So.
But no, it was a great experience. If you get a chance, try to do your own 17th century Dutch merchant food tour. It's
food crawl.
Yeah, food crawl. Yeah, we crawled our way through Zout and Noord-Holland, and we had a wonderful time doing it. Really good stuff. I mean, don't let anyone tell you Dutch food is boring. It's not, and it wasn't even then. It wasn't boring. Of course, now this is the merchant food. So thanks so much for joining us for another one.
Thank you, guys.
If you like these food tours or anything like that, just let us know. We love experiencing the history of the Netherlands. So if you like that kind of content, let us know in the comments, and maybe you have some good suggestions. So thanks so much, guys. We're gonna go sleep off all this beer now. Oh,
Tot ziens.
but we have some good ontbijt. We have some good ontbijt for the morning when we wake up. So we have that to look forward to. But tot ziens.